All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and the warrants,
I'll make that one.
Deb, and then
No second.
Adrian, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good. Getting to the financial reports, I'm delighted that Brenda is, we've been working together on budget planning, all of the numerous situations that we have here. And for the end of, just to give you an update, before I turn it over to Brenda, our 2022 revenue for this month, okay, is $1,333,000 less than August of last year. The expenses were also less, which is good, by $1,846,000. And then I'm going to turn it over to Brenda.
So just to give you the figures for the revenue for 2022, it was, at this time, right now, it's $4,868,000. And for 2021 at this time, it was $6,202,000. And then for our expense side, for 2022, as of this board meeting, it's $4,738,000. And as of 2021, at this time last year, it was $6,585,000. So we're kind of like going up and down here for a little bit. Expecting some more revenue hopefully to come in. So, and then also Frank and I are working on a couple grants for the airport, and I'm just going to mention the dollar amounts. The CARES Act grant that we were able to get for $69,000 has been completed. And we also have a CRRSA grant for $23,000, which has been completed as of today. I just have to have you sign the last paperwork and it completes it out.
Good.
And we also have one more that was for $59,000, which has not been completed yet. I think
I've got some items that,
Yeah.
you see the update of the security system at the terminal building. That's almost $18,000, so hopefully when we get the invoice for that, we'll submit that. And we still have that, obviously we've been trying to get fares more from the airport, which is almost impossible to get. That's another $17,000 there, so we'll get those two pieces, those invoices, we'll submit them. So we just got, we got a reimbursement of, it looks like over $20,000. We turned in all our utility bills for 2020, and we got reimbursed for those through the CARES Act.
Great, that's wonderful. Yay. Okay.
Nice. You shouldn't leave.
It's going to be a recurring theme.
Wait a minute there, I pulled the invoice.
Everybody worked on it.
Yeah, everybody worked.
There's no saying, how are we gonna get along without him? You will.
You can always reapply.
That's okay.
Advisory status.
Let's go down to our committee department reports. Let's start with the town highway.
Highway, we trimmed trees on O'Neill, North Racket, and Tripney Road. We cleaned the ditch and replaced the driveway culvert pipe on 999 North Racket. We started mowing roadsides on July 19th. We finished on August 4th. We replaced 60 feet of 36-inch cross culvert pipe near 842 North Racket. And we also, on August 3rd, paved those two driving lanes after replacing the pipe. We chipped the brush pile twice. We continue to install the new chevron signs at North Racket due to the water replacement project going on. We're installing new signs as they take them down. Obviously, we dropped off and picked up platforms for the mega reunion in North Racket River Road. We've grader patched from mailbox 758 to mailbox 835. We've mowed graveyards and all other required town properties twice. Still working with Napa. We actually have a meeting on July 29th or August 29th on which involves the town roads that they're using, and there's some issues that we.
Napa, yeah.
Napa. Why do I say Napa?
We know what you meant.
Equipment repairs. 22, we replaced the primer valve on the fuel system. 47, replaced the dual axle seal on the passenger side. 50, we replaced the carrier bearing on the drive shaft. 52, replaced left rear dual brake chamber. Backhoe replaced two hydraulic lines on the backhoe boom, also greased. A roller trailer replaced two tires. Pickup number 2 repaired brakes, dragging. Brush hog replaced tires. Ordered a new clutch for the jumping jack. East Massena water line project, close of business as of 8/12/22. New 10-inch water main in the ground, 17,930 feet. Number of services connected to two 10-inch main during that period of time, 40. And number of new fire hydrants, 20 total so far. Airport boutique airs numbers for July, in plane 464, in plane 452 for a total of 916, actually a good month. About 118 more than last month. So, terminal apron rehab project completed as of August 15th. Final inspection is on August 23rd. Still working with the GSA and TSA and a refresh for TSA offices at the Massena International Airport Terminal. We finally found we had an ongoing issue with runway lights on 523. We found that the regulator had failed, and we had Baseline involved working with a Baseline King was working with us on that project. We've had to order a new regulator. Luckily, we had an old regulator that was sitting in the electrical vault that we were able to hook the runway up to. We have ordered a regulator. It's going to be shipped on September 27th. As soon as they get that regulator, we'll install it. This was slated to be replaced with the 523 runway project. That's supposed to happen this year, but won't happen until next year. So this cost is associated with that project, so the money's there.
Great, good.
It's like a $20,000 regulator. So. The library, no issues. The museum, no issues. Town hall, no issues. St. Lawrence County Highway Department, just a reminder that the bridge on County Route 37 between County Route 46 and 37 Taylor Road is closed until work is completed. Emergency power system inspected the towns of Massena's 5 generators. Issues, town hall generator needs 2 new batteries. Airport runway generator needs 1 battery. We'll schedule replacement of batteries with emergency power system during their scheduled service for November 2022. Town board, you approved that. Those are the contracts to train. Jody Wetzel from St. Lawrence County Risk Manager for the St. Lawrence County Self-Insurance Plan performed a risk assessment of the town's building on August 11, 2022. The highway had 3 findings. The airport had 3. Town hall had 1. Nothing at the museum, and 5 at the library. As of yesterday, all the findings have been corrected. 12.
Oh, great.
So done. I submitted the report back to him, and he said thanks for the quick response.
That's wonderful, thank you very much, good. They've been doing really well with that water project, going
Yeah.
faster than we thought,
Yeah.
so that's good. Okay, Massena Electric Department.
Yes, I'll give the report and Deb can correct me anything she thinks.
Okay,
Finally, someone actually got hurt. They had a time of 680 days without anybody losing any time. Somebody hurt their hand, and therefore you got to start all over again with the list. There's been no reportable injuries in June. Days without reportable injuries, that we're up to 385, so it's different than the actual somebody losing some time. There's I think this is also interesting, is the customer impact chart. So the customer impact chart over 12 months average has decreased by 10,280 minutes. So when the power goes out, you're impacted. So they track that all the time, and they do really well in regards to that. Reliability, MED crews responded to 12 calls in June, affected 48 customers for 37 minutes. I think that's good. Jeff did his financial report, and the financial reports are always good. They actually had to write off, agreed to write off some accounts, but that doesn't mean they won't try and still get those accounts, but they wrote them off for that. They're getting active shooter training from the Massena Police Department. I don't know if it's happened yet, but
well, we
find out.
were all invited to get involved in active shooter training, which we're going to be having this fall, so you all got notices.
I'm in the process of working with the Department of,
Right.
And we have an initial meeting coming up.
And Frank's person that's doing it.
I
is the one
invited, I sent an email to Andy along with the library and town hall if they wanted to have everybody be included in that training.
So that's going through what was initiated.
I don't know if that's the same thing you're talking
It
about.
is the same,
I
yeah.
think so. It's
Yeah.
active shooter drill.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name that's doing it.
What's that?
I can't remember the person's name who's doing it.
Well, there's, Betsy is my contact, but I don't, actually, they send a group up here, is typically tailored towards an airport, but I told them, I guess you guys at the airport, can we tailor it to the rest of the town?
Right.
So the initial meeting is they want to come up into our buildings and they will take that training and make it fit all our, buildings and what our people do.
It kind of stemmed from last year and this year.
Yeah,
about
it's roughly a 2.5-hour training, so we can divide it into 2 groups, that way you can, because obviously we can't let everybody go at the same time, so.
That's
So more to come.
That's a good safety issue
Yep.
associated with that. Jeff said the total accounts receivables are down, which is always a good vote in my opinion, and the accounts receivables are down, which means you collected more money. Cybersecurity, they've been working cybersecurity on a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues that come up with cybersecurity, everybody, every business, everywhere. So they've been working on their program to make sure everything is safe in regards to that. There's an Arbor program that's been supported by ALCO and NIPA and Kern Renewables. It's trees planting around town, I guess. You remember where? Did they say that?
They did a bunch of North Main and Maple.
Yeah,
Every year they do have to.
Every year, they used to do them by the hospital and down there, so. This Climate Action Council, what I asked about earlier, that's what the state is pushing for, basically get rid of renewable or using all electric as opposed to fossil fuels and doing other things. And there was 25,000 comments submitted statewide in regards to that. Still a major issue about how quick the state wants to push this, and more to come in regards to this technology. Finally, Amy noted that Governor Hochul has recommended and they've approved Justin Driscoll to be permanent CEO of NIPA. So now they have a permanent CEO who must be retired and now get them replaced. Yep, anything on this?
The only thing to add, because we've talked about it before, is the transformers for the schools have all been installed and are operational. So that project finally got completed once we got the transformers.
Good.
So that's, other than that.
Good, very good. Okay, library?
Yes, they had a meeting on August 9th. The circulation report, we're up 642 in circulation. And year-to-date on circulation, we're up 5,411. And we're also up 17,662 for a library visit, based on the numbers from the year before in '21. We had a discussion over the library personnel, and we took care of that tonight, so don't have to worry about that too much. Also, we discussed emergency and fire prevention policy. The board is going to review it again and may change it before there's a final approval. In September, they're going to be trying to start up again the Friends of the Library, which I really think is a great thing for the library, and I hope there's some people out there that would love to join that group. Also, they're still doing the walks 2 times a week out to Whalen Park, and they have a plan for maybe sometime in November for their 125th anniversary of the library. And the next meeting is going to be September 13th.
You don't have the date in November yet?
I have 5th marked down here, November 5th.
Okay. Keep note of that. Good. Okay, and again, with your notes, make sure you send your written notes to Janine so that she can get them over to Jason and put them on the website. Okay. Museum.
Museum met on August 4th. They've had 30 visitors in June and 43 in July. They were open for the, at this meeting, they were planning to be open for the mega reunion, and I understand they were able to do that with some help. They were open from 10 until 3. They did go over to the Chamber of Commerce to check on the condition of our things that are stored over there, because we were a little concerned about mustiness and things. Everything is fine.
Good.
So, the addition is progressing. The tile floor was being laid As of this meeting, the air conditioner still had not come in. We're always in that supply chain issue. But they plan to hold a grand opening event. Once all of that work is done, they'll combine it with a welcome for Josh as the new historian.
Good.
And they are planning on doing a fundraising campaign to help get that on-site storage building. You know, they'll be looking for some grants and stuff like that. They are going to do a community
Good,
campaign.
that'd be very beneficial for the museum.
So,
Good,
and their next meeting is September 1st.
good, thank you. Ethics, the ethics board is meeting on August 22nd, and they're continuing work on revision of the handbook. I can tell you that much, okay? Jason Hendricks.
How's everybody doing?
Good. And thank you for your report, very thorough.
Thank you. It's been a whirlwind of a month as we head into our big event coming up this Saturday and Sunday. We've been progressing on the Civic Plus website redesign. We've been taking the next steps there. Everything's on target for that. Additionally, we've been running our heavy media campaign that's running right now. And I just want to touch on some of the numbers that we're kind of seeing. On the event side, just on Facebook for the Rock in the River event, it's been viewed by over 44,000 people, with over 2K taking some sort of action or response. Not just on the Facebook side, on our website side, over the last 28 days, we've seen over 8,000 visits to that page. And kind of how that breaks down is, you know, you kind of want to measure how well we're doing. Well, based off of that and the ads that are playing via social media, TV, and all the media spots, we have seen 4.5 thousand views on the Rock in the River event page, followed by the tourism-driven spot, which is a landing page I created directly for that. We've seen 3,100 people take action on those. So those are pretty strong numbers. And we're about to find out how well, when we see this crowd hopefully on Saturday, how successful it was. Obviously, we're in the midst of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit tournament right now. And I'm sure Don's going to touch more on that, so I won't go too far into that. But I want to give a quick thanks to Brenda, who's been very accommodating. We've been trying to get our stuff approved by I Love New York. And I've had to go in. I thought I was going to have to take up residency in her office for a little bit, but she's been very accommodating. We got everything set up, so we're all set, meeting those guidelines for New York State. So it's just been a crazy month, but the fruits of our labor are about to pay off.
And you had something else you referred about doing a survey?
Yes.
How about telling everybody about that here?
Yeah. So the group, we wanted to measure the success of the tournament, so we kind of sat down. We came up with a group of questions. So what's going to happen is on Saturday, we've got some prizes to give away, and we have a brief 8 to 9 question survey that's going to measure, you know, what brought people there, how much money they spend, are they local, are they from out of town. So we're hoping to get a lot of great data out of that. So to enter into the giveaway, they'll scan a QR code, they'll fill out the survey, and then they'll show us that it's completed. When it's completed, we'll give them a ticket, and they'll be entered into the drawings for the outdoor giveaways that we have.
Okay, sounds good.
So we're going to entice them.
That'll work, yeah.
And that's about all I got for now.
Yeah, and we've been having the Civic Plus meetings. We asked Nate Shatlin and Jean and Sean, and they're going to, again, working on the website to improve it so it's more user-friendly, some different colors, a variety of things graphically, et cetera, to make it much better to access for people.
It's going to flow with all the branding we've created at this point.
Yeah.
It'll make a nice seamless integration.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, Jason. Okay, joint recreation.
They met the same day, the library on the 9th. The tennis court and pickleball project is completed and opened back up to the public. The summer rec program has ended, getting ready to get back to school, so the program's done. The numbers were up this year also, which also led. Which also led to the increase of numbers at the beaches. And the last thing that we really discussed was the security cameras at Alcoa Field are up and running properly, and so now maybe we can stop some vandalism.
That would be very good,
So,
yeah.
all going well. Wrapping up on summer.
That's great, thank you very much, Tom. I have a note from the assessor. He's going to be doing a presentation on September 14th at the Massena Community Center at 1:30 in the afternoon. The topic is the change in the senior exemption income limitation that was adopted at the town and village, raising the income level from 21,000 to 29,000. So if you know of anybody in those income levels who need to understand better what's going on, that would be most advantageous to them. It's the application for partial tax exemption for real property of senior citizens, how to fill out the forms, what is the income, what it needs to be recorded as income, etc. So Vern, our assessor, will be there on September 14th at 1:30 at the Massena Community Center. So please, if you know of anybody in that range who would really like to get the information and get it done properly, please go to that, okay? Let me do the Chamber of Commerce before I turn it over to Linda and Don. The Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors met on July 21st. The summer concerts, the park, were well attended. Last concert, August 18th, that's tomorrow. They begin at 6 p.m. and end at 8 p.m. in the spring park. In case of rain, they are at the St. Lawrence Center. They thank all their sponsors. They received a grant from the St. Lawrence County Arts Council for the concerts. And the St. Lawrence County Chamber Executive Director, Ben Dixon, provided information on the process to merge the chambers of Massena, Canton, and Ogdensburg. The formation concept includes a feasibility study and implementation phase. Both areas have specifics that will include status as nonprofit through NICON, which is the New York Council on Nonprofits. Membership information campaign to explain why, along with the benefits, and in-person vote, then approvals and resolutions of the merger, so all those are part of the process. Each community chamber will have a half-time employee who will work for the county the other half of the time. So they'll be in our chamber office here, if it all goes through. There will be somebody in our building working half-time, the other half-time they'll still be here, but working for the county. And I've invited Ben to speak at our September town board meeting for further clarification, so he should be here. They're also talking about a wine and food festival in the fall. Their next meeting, besides tomorrow, is September 22nd. Okay? And now, let's go to Linda first and give us an update, and then over to Don. Grants, what do you like to tell us about?
Okay, with respect to grants, there is one that's currently in the works for ARPA for tourism money. Tom and I are working on that.
Good.
There is, I downloaded all of the information from Erin Griffin, the Clean Energy and Climate Smart. I spoke to her very briefly. Money is going rapidly, so if this august body can pass that resolution, we will move forward and put an application in for charging stations, because I think that was what you were looking for.
That was the ideal, yeah.
Yes.
So we have one coming in for another one for the library, but we'd like to have it at the airport. Have some other spots too, so.
Okay, we could probably talk after, either after this meeting or later this week, and get more specifics about that.
And anybody on the board thinks of other areas that should have charging stations, please let Linda know. You all have her email, okay? So I've done that, yeah. And yesterday at my Rotary board, I spoke on my job as supervisor, and I mentioned about the fishing, I mentioned about the grant writing, and the ones that you are working on, and they were all very pleased to hear all that.
We submitted, before the deadline, 2 Market New York applications.
Yes, great, thank you very much, good. Okay, Don, tell us about fishing this week. Exciting week this week.
Exciting as I'm standing here, almost falling asleep in my feet. We've really been working hard at this because this is the biggest event that we've ever brought here, and it's going absolutely incredibly. On Monday, we had our registration meeting and dinner, and we all got a chance to see and mingle with all the people from the South. And for those of you that don't know, an awful lot of these top 50 anglers are from the South. Now, we just came back from a second day of weigh-in. The people on the stage, it was unbelievable. First of all, the weights that they're getting is incredible. But the things that they said, and one of the things that struck me today, and I wanted to pass it on because I think it's something that we take for granted. But the one guy that, I guess he was 3rd or 4th, he said, I want everybody to know that I've been up here over a month, getting ready for these tournaments, and this is what this is what these tournaments represent. These people don't just come up here to fish the tournament. They come up weeks and practice, because there's so much money involved. This Saturday is going to be our kids' tournament. Today I tagged a number of fish, and hopefully the kids will be able to catch these tag fish. It'll bring some excitement. But we have 200 kids that signed up already, and so we're really looking forward to that. And that's just part of the big festival that's going to go on Saturday. I'm thrilled.
And the kids' tournament starts at 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock at Wilson Hill. That goes for 2 hours, and the kids are going to get some prizes given to them. Every child that enters gets a brand new fishing rod and reel. And our hopes is that a lot of these kids and parents who bring them, they've hardly ever fished. And this is not only the way to get them into it, but it's a way for them to see that other kids like them are enjoying the same thing. So, and the one thing I want to say before I sit down, because I think this is one of the most important things of all, the success that we are having, and we're having incredible success at this, is because of the people that are putting this together. Tom and Adrian are part of our team that's worked so steadfastly. We couldn't do this without the people that have given their heart and souls and their desire to be part of this. And so it makes me proud to be a small part of this whole thing, and it makes me proud to see what we can do here in Massena. So I'm thrilled, and just a couple more days, Sunday night, we can all look back and say, we did it.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of volunteers that are helping, and you can't forget our volunteers in Massena. That's always been the spirit for Massena.
So I just need to add a couple things to that.
Yeah.
John did a great job explaining it the whole week. Couple of things the board needs to know. In-kind service, this couldn't be pulled off without Frank and his crew and Massena Electric. We've had a lot of in-kind service from them. I am documenting the hours that we're using because our grant writer said that will help us in the future.
Yeah.
So that'll be done, we're documenting them all. And the last thing you need to know is, Jason Hendricks put out a press release today on my approval. Because of the marketing numbers that we are getting, looking and trending like it's going to be extremely busy, and we hope it is, we have asked that the public use alternate boat launches that Saturday and Sunday only. We have left it open all week long. We're not closing it, but we're being very professional about it, and we're asking them to use an alternate site because the numbers are putting us to a level of parking issues, safety issues with all those boats going in and out of there. So we're asking the public to go ahead and use either Barnhart, Wilson Hill, or wherever it may be, but just for this week.
Yeah, I think it's a wise idea.
So, again, we didn't hammer down and say, don't use it, but we're asking, please, for those 2 days only, because it's a huge safety issue with those boats going in and out. So, and I just needed the board to know that that went out today. I had to make that decision with the numbers that he was giving me with the marketing, and I said, for safety reasons, so,
Okay.
all right?
And Frank, tell us about some of the things you've been putting up there with your group to get ready for the
So
Saturday.
we've moved bleachers and chairs, and we've set up a clamshell.
Which is the bandstand.
We did some experimental striping for parking in the grass with a paint machine. Just whatever Tom needs, we do. Got a couple trucks up there for garbage and cardboard.
Oh, don't worry, it cost me money. Breakfast this morning, hats, shirts. Only cost me.
Sounds good. Okay. I believe like those are all the areas. And again, I'd say each month, if you know of anybody in the community who wants to get involved on one of our board committees, they're all voluntary boards, but this first semester this year, I'm still thinking college here, but September through November, that's when people on boards are thinking, do I want to continue in the slot or not? So when they notify me there's an opening, then I like to take a look at my list and see who's interested in that area. So if you're interested in a certain area on any of the boards, let me know and I put you on the list, okay? I appreciate that. Right now, we need to have a motion to go into executive session. And, you need the reasons, here we go. Proposed pending or current litigation and medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation. and acquisition, lease for sale of real property or securities. Those are all part of the executive session. So if we have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Don,
Second.
and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Do I get one question?
yeah.
Are